Hello, 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 and welcome to the Brightside Global Trade TV. We have some wonderful speakers today, and we hope you are enjoying a great afternoon that will help encourage you to empower your business and your corporation. And here we have with us Lisa Baker, who will be your financial coach. She is introducing a new program called Grow, and we are here doing an open house. So if you have any questions while you're watching, please write us a comment. So a symptom is about rising to the top. And Lisa has been a very senior level executive at Synchrony and many major corporations. She comes with a lot of experience and expertise and her own life journey. So over to you, Lisa, and welcome to our show.
Thank you so much, Claire. I am always honored when I have an opportunity to speak and to be part of the beautiful Brightside community. It's a pleasure to be here today. I've prepared a short presentation that I want to share with you. And as you mentioned, at the end, I am happy to take questions about anything, whether it's related to what I am sharing or other topics. I'm always happy to answer questions. So let's get started. What we're talking about today is what it takes to secure your financial future. That is the subject of the discussion. And before we get into it, I want you to just think for a few moments about this idea of financial freedom. What does that mean to you? What does it look like to be financially free? How would your life experiences be? What are your goals, your dreams, your aspirations as it relates to finances? How would your life change if you had more than enough money so that you don't ever have to worry about money? How would you live? How would you give? Maybe you'd travel. What are those big, bold goals and dreams that you have for your life that being free financially would allow you to fulfill? Do you have that picture, the image, those things in mind? If you do, I now have a question for you. And that is this: does your present reality match those big, bold goals and dreams that you have? Or is there a disconnect? For many people, there is a disconnect. There is this gap between what they desire for their life and what their reality is. If you want something that you've never had, you must do something that you have never done. I am Lisa L. Baker. I'm the founder of Ascentum. I am a speaker and executive coach. I am a Ramsey certified master financial coach and an International Coach Federation associate certified coach. What I really do is I show high-performing professionals who feel stuck in their career or in their life how to discover their area of greatness so that they can create an unfair advantage and easily move to their next level. In other words, I help people to level up and live the life of their dreams. As Claire mentioned earlier, I spent 30 years in corporate America. My last job there was as the senior vice president and general manager at Synchrony, where I was responsible for the $2.5 billion, that's billion with a B, book of business that was the eBay credit portfolio. I wasn't always there, though. There was a time in my life when I was struggling financially. I was worried about whether or not I would be able to send my kids to college. I was struggling to keep everything going to make ends meet. I was debt burdened. At the height of my debt, I had over $1.3 million in debt. Now, a lot of that was in real estate, but it was still debt nonetheless. And you can imagine when the financial crisis happened in 2007, 8, 9, 10, in that time frame, how that really affected me, because all of that real estate that I had ended up being upside down. The crisis that ensued financially at that time meant that renters that I had couldn't pay me, and I was in trouble. But I was determined to turn it around, and I did. I was able to retire from my career in corporate at just 54 years old and start my coaching practice. And now I speak about and I coach to the things that I've learned, not just from what I've read, but from my own lived experiences. And I have put them together into my Grow Finances program. So I am the founder of Ascentum and the creator of Grow Finances. And it is designed to help you jumpstart your journey to financial freedom so that you can close that gap between what you desire and what your reality is when it comes to your finances. Here's another question for you. Are you a hardworking go-getter? Like you really strive, you got your hustle, you might even have your side hustle. So you're earning good money. What's the definition of good money? Well, the average person in the US is earning around $63,000 a year. The average household income is approximately $90,000 a year in the United States. So if you're earning in that area, you're earning good money, but does your bank account not really reflect your hard work and this good money that you're making? If you're like I was, at the end of the year, it's usually late January, early February, you get that W-2 that says how much you earned for the year. And you look at that and you think, what happened? Where did my money go? If that's true of you, then Grow Finances is for you. It is designed especially for you so that you can take back your financial power. It is possible to have financial freedom, to live the way you want to live now and leave a powerful legacy. The first step, though, is changing your mindset. And Grow Finances is designed to help you do just that. I will give you the proven strategies that I use to go from being over $1.3 million in debt to being debt-free and retiring at just 54 years old. The first step in the Grow process is to get out of debt. If you want to be financially free, debt can be detrimental to that goal. The next thing is to help you to retain more of your income, because what you make and what you earn, whether it's from your career or your business, it matters. But what matters even more is how much of that money you're able to keep. We've all heard stories of people who have won the lottery and then a few years later they're bankrupt. Or we hear about the famous athlete or musician who has made millions or even billions of dollars, and yet they don't have any money. It's about how much you can keep. As you start to free yourself from debt, keep more of your money, building your assets, you need to learn how to keep things organized and how to protect those assets that you're building so that you don't risk losing what you've worked so hard to earn. And the final step in the Grow Finances process is to walk in wealth. Wealth is about so much more than money. And so we will show you not only how to get out of debt, how to keep more money, how to protect what you're building, but what it truly means to walk in wealth so that you can live how you want to live now and leave a lasting legacy. The result of going through this process is peace of mind. I talked about the worry that I had, the struggle that I had when I was financially bound. The whole goal is to have peace of mind, to be free of the money worry, the money stress, the fights. That's the number one thing that many couples fight about. It's money. You can be free of all of that so that you can stop worrying and really live and enjoy your life.
Do you know how powerful you are? Do you realize that you have the power to create the life of your dreams? The choice is yours. You can live an average life or an abundant life. The average life ends in GoFundMe, where your family has to do a GoFundMe to bury you. The abundant life looks like leaving a legacy where you build wealth and leave it for generations to come. Either way, GoFundMe, leave a legacy, the choice is yours.
The choice is yours. You can choose how you want to live. It starts with changing your mindset and making the decision that you actually want to be free, that you're going to do something different. If you're not sure whether you're financially bound or financially free, then you may want to watch my free training video that talks about the differences, the distinction between someone who is financially bound and financially free, so that you can be crystal clear about where you fall on that spectrum. You can do that by going to ascentum.teachable.com and downloading the video there. The other option and offer that I have for you today is if you want to take the Grow Finances course because you watched this presentation, I am offering you a 10% discount over the cost of the course. Again, head over to ascentum.teachable.com and you'll use the coupon code Brightside. That code is valid through this Sunday at midnight. So don't wait, register now. I will share with you that the cost of Grow Finances, the investment that you need to make in order to take this course and jumpstart your journey to financial freedom, is less than the cost of the average new car payment. The cost of the course is only $595, and it's 10% off for our Brightside viewers. That's what I wanted to share with you today. I appreciate you listening and taking the time to consider the program. I will answer any questions that you have today. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for that, Lisa. We really appreciate your comments and suggestions and your framework. It sounds like you put a great deal of time and consideration in transforming where we are to where we really want to be. And GoFundMe or legacy. Simple as that, GoFundMe or legacy. So I wanted to take this opportunity before people that have questions might come forward with the perspective that, okay, I know today, I don't know how significant that is, but today is the 25th of August, 22. 25th of August, that's 25/8/22 for European focus, 25/8/22. So this means that it's the perfect time for you to consider, where do I really want to be? I mean, you might be bounded with gobs of debt. That's true. And the first step to financial freedom is debt freedom, debt-free, freedom from debt. And so I just want to pose this question to you. I mean, there's a lot that goes into making the decision and changing the steps of eliminating debt. I don't want to give too much of a peek of what you're going to be talking about, but if you would just kind of open the door a little bit for people that might want to understand. I got debt. Now, I'm sure probably everybody on the call might have debt. What are some of the simple steps that and methods that you are suggesting that we can take to eliminate debt?
Yeah, I appreciate the question. You know, debt is a burden, literally, for many people in this country and frankly around the globe. The principle that I am a advocate of when it comes to getting out of debt, because there's many ways that you can approach it, right? But I prefer the debt snowball method to eliminating your debt. That is a way to easily gain momentum and really see progress in reducing your debt. And that's one of the principles that we'll talk about in the course for those who take it. And it's very simple, but it requires that you keep the snowball rolling. And that is you start with the debt that has the smallest balance and work your way down to those that have the largest balance. And that's maybe different than what some others may suggest. Some people suggest that you start with the debt that has the highest interest rate or the largest balance. But the fastest way to get out of debt that I have found, and the process that I use is to use the debt snowball approach.
Very good. Thank you for that. I really appreciate that. So there you've heard it. That's a peek view of what she'll discuss with you about principles of eliminating debt. And I know that, and the idea, of course, eliminating debt doesn't mean you actually go out and get more debt to eliminate the old debt.
That's that is so true. I tell people this, and beware of someone who offers you debt as a way of getting out of debt. We all have likely seen the online, or you get an advertisement that comes in the mail that says you can borrow today $35,000, $50,000, reduce your debt. I'm like, wait a minute, are you reducing my debt, or are you offering me more debt?
More debt. So because if you're just juggling interest rates, is that really the appropriate solution? And so that's abounding. That's wonderful. Really appreciate your perspective with that. Any other questions that you might have for Lisa? She's a proven corporate professional, and she can share and show you ways and methods to get you in a esteemed and in a legacy, moving toward a legacy position where you're in control, debt and worry free. You're in a position that you can take the steps, the vacations. Maybe I think about it this way: when you think about the lifestyle alternatives, many of you may need a vacation. I know I could use one. Anybody need a vacation?
I need one.
So we work all the time, and just taking a few days here and there. I had the perspective once upon a time that every quarter you take a long weekend. Every quarter you take a long weekend, and that refires and refuels your mind, especially if you're working 60-hour weeks. And you need to recharge yourself so you have perspective to continue, because that's how ideas come to you. Ideas, when you're working through a very high tense, high profile work environment where you manage 10 to 15 people and you need to keep them on their game. So that means if you need to keep them on their game, guess what? You need to be on your game.
Yeah, it's so true. Listen, this idea that you can just work harder or work more, that can only go so far. We do have to take breaks and allow ourselves to recharge. One of the things, as a financial coach, and many financial coaches will talk to you about your budget and managing your expenses and getting out of debt, and all of those things are important, but they often omit the top line, and that is you have to bring in more money at the top in the first place if you're going to make progress on those goals. And I know Alan is on, and he's going to talk to us about side hustles, and that's one of the ways you can do that is having multiple streams of income. But having those multiple streams of income ought to give you the freedom to live your life the way you want to.
Yeah, you make a very important point. I mean, as I'm waiting for people, that you have a question, just chime in. But I mean, when you think about your active day, I don't know, I've got about 12 buckets that I'm working. Well, let's consider those 12 buckets projects that I'm working on. And each requires so much time, that each requires so many resources, that each require support or people who can help you with those, and managing all of that. So at the end of the day, each bucket is full with profits. Each bucket is full with the right amount of time. And each bucket is because we're coming to the end of the year. And so how will that be positioned? And if you do this right, each of the 12 buckets will be full when the year finishes. They will be full when the year finishes. Now, I don't know if that I'm speaking to anybody who gets what I'm saying, but I mean, because if you've got 12 buckets going with 12 projects and they all require time and you want them all to be full, guess what? Got to put something in them to get something out. So that's how it is. So any other questions for Lisa? She has been so dynamic and forceful in her presentation about how we can position our value profile. And so, I'm excited I'm excited to hear about your profile directions with Grow. I mean, because we all want to grow. We all want to grow, and we all have different requirement needs now. And her program will offer some side consultations. So if you have specific requirements, or your project and offer profiles are very demanding, then perhaps you need special considerations. And she has a special consideration profile to help you with that. Share that with us a little bit too, if you don't mind, Lisa.
Well, I think what you're referring to is the ability to have one-on-one coaching, because this program is a group coaching program. So there'll be, many people in the group. And there are often things, and finances and money is such a very personal topic. And there's this stigma, right? We're told that there are certain things we don't talk about, like, you don't talk about politics. We don't talk about money is one of those things on the list. And I don't subscribe to that. We have to talk about these things. But if you have something very personal, as you said, you have a special situation. Many people are in transitions as they're preparing for retirement, or maybe you are in that sandwich sort of generation where you have your kids that you're trying to prepare and get them to school, but at the same time, you're dealing with aging parents, and that creates unique financial needs. You can, as part of this program, have a one-on-one consultation with me where we can just talk about your specific financial needs. I, of course, am also available outside of the course for coaching as well. So you can visit my website, ascentum.com, or you can go to ascentum.teachable.com to register for the course. And I appreciate you asking that. Reginald, am I misread? It looks like you were trying to unmute or something, or maybe you were just adjusting your phone.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a phone adjustment.
Okay.
But,
all right.
but your presentation was excellent, and I could I appreciate your example and your expertise that you bring to this topic. And you're right, it is very taboo for a lot of people. But I feel like if it's discussed more, people could find solutions to be able to improve their lives and as well as that of their families.
Yeah.
Very good.
Thank
Very
you.
good. Very good. Thank you for that. Thank you for that.